All right, now we're on 9.7. So hopefully you've done 9.4, 9.5, 9.6 so far. Now you're on 9.7. This is volume of the cylinders now. And this is the last lesson we're in the chapter. We're going to skip 9.8. So this finishes the chapter up. So that means next week we will send home the test. We will have 2 quizzes that you will also complete while doing this homework at the same time that we'll be emailing you home. All right, so volume of a cylinder. You can use the same method you did for prisms. Basically, it's the area of the base times the height. So it's large B, little h. So a cylinder, the area of a circle, basically. So you're looking for area of a circle. Area of a circle is pi, radius squared, and you're going to times by height. So the volume of a cylinder is pi times radius squared times height. So basically, you're multiplying 4 numbers. Pi, which is always going to be 3.14. The radius twice, so going to be radius and then radius again, and then you're going to multiply times the height every time. So, at the very beginning, they give you a picture. They just give you this. If you know the radius and the height, you can find the volume of a cylinder. So you know the formula is pi times radius squared times height, which in other words, pi times radius times height. We know pi is 3.14. The radius is right here, 4 times 4, and the height's right here, 7. It doesn't matter which way you multiply these numbers out. You just got to multiply them out. But they say round to the nearest whole number. So you're going to round to the nearest whole number. So we go 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 7 is 112. So then 112 times 3.14. 844, 0211. Then we'll put 2 zeros here and 633. So then 8, 6, 11, 5, 3, 1, 2 decimal places. So it's 351.68. Since this is over 0.5, is it closer to 351 or 352? And since it's 0.68, it's closer to 352. So my answer is 352 cubic feet. For some reason, the PowerPoint, that's the pi symbol. It doesn't put a pi symbol in there. 3.14 times 4 squared times 7. So you get 351.768, which rounds to 352. If you don't round, it's okay. We'll take 351.68 also. Now, if they give you diameter, you have to find the radius, remember. So the radius is always half, so it's 5. So now we know the formula is pi times radius times height. So we know 3.14 times, now the radius is 5 times 5, and the height's 11. Does it really matter which order you multiply it? 5 times 11, we know it's 55. We times it by 5, we get 275. And so now we take 275 and we'll times it by pi, 3.14. So we have 20, 30, 11, and you put a 0 and 5, 7, 2. 2 zeros. Scratch those out. 15, 22, now it's 8. And so if we add this up, we get 0, 5, 12, 13. Carry 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. 2 decimal places. 2, so 863.5, or if you round it, 864, because 0.5 it rounds up. Now, on example 1C, they kind of give you this. I know it's kind of close together, so I'm going to rewrite it so you can see what it says. It basically says this. It says the radius is h over 3 plus 4 inches. And h is 9. So we know 2 things. One, we know the height is 9 inches because our formula says pi times radius times height. We know 3.14. And we know the height is 9. What we don't know is the radius, because the radius is h over 3 plus 4. We have to replace h with the same 9. So We'll use substitution. Since it says h equals 9, this h is 9, so 9 over 3 plus 4. We'll use order of operations. So you divide before you add. So 9 divided by 3 is 3, first step. Then we're going to add 4. So now we have the radius is 7. So they're going to make you find the radius in order to solve the problem. So this is the height, which is 9, but it's also this h also to find your radius. So once we do this, now we're going to multiply 3.14 times 7 times 7 times 9. We know 7 times 7 is 49, and 49 times 9, 36, plus 8 is 44, so 441. So basically 441 times 314, and we should get 1385. So see, h plus over 3 plus 4, you replace h with 9, 9 plus 3, 9 divided by 3 plus 4 is 7. Then you write the formula down, so it's 3.14 times 7 times 7 times 9, and you get the answer there. Now, same thing here. Radius is 6, so basically it's pi times radius squared times h. So 3.14 times 6 times 6. So 3.14 times radius is 6 times 6 times 5. So replace pi, replace r, replace h, and then just multiply your 4 numbers. We know that's 30, and 30 times 6 is 180, so 180 times pi is what you're going to solve. I don't waste too much time on doing all the math on this, because I think by now you should be able to figure some of this out on multiplying. Diameter is 8, so the radius is going to be half that, 4. And once we do that, we know it's 3.14 times 4 times 4 times 6, because it's pi times radius times height. And so we can do 4 times 6 is 24, times it by 4 is 96, so 3.14 times 96. A 3-digit number times a 2-digit number, and you're going to count decimal places 2 in your answer. And you will get, first they found the radius, there's that math, 301.44, or around 301. And if you have one like this again, separate, they kind of wrote on top of each other in the PowerPoint for some reason. And then, okay, so h over 4 plus 5, we know h is 8, tells us right here, so 8 over 4 plus 5. First step is to divide 8 by 4, 2, 2 plus 5 is 7. So now we know the radius is 7. If we know the radius is 7, we can plug our formula in, 314 times 7 times 7 times 8, because the height is 8, and we multiply and get our answer like so. There's a radius, so there's our formula. Replace pi with 3.14, radius was 7, height with 8, solve it, and you will get the answer of 1230.88, or around 1231. Now, in example 2, they give you in word form, so you got to comprehend what you're reading. It's the application part. Allie has a cylinder-shaped pencil holder, so we know that Allie has a cylinder. And it has a 3-inch diameter and a height of 5. So we know on Allie, the diameter is 3 and the height is 5. And then we have Scott has a cylinder also. His is a diameter of 4. So Scott has a diameter of 4 and a height of 6. They want you to estimate the volume of each cylinder to the nearest cubic inch. You just got to find 2 answers. You got to find Allie's, and you got to find Scott's. So first step is they gave you diameter, which means you got to find the radius, which means you got to take diameter and divide it by 2. So half of 3 at your point 0 is 1.5. So radius is 1.5. So now we do 3.14 times 1.5 times 1.5 times height of 5. That's Allie's. And so if we multiply 1.5 times 1.5, we get 2.25. Times it by 5. I'm just trying to save you some time here. 11.25, and times it by pi, we get 35.3, or it rounds to 35. So Allie's is 35. But on Scott, diameter is 4, so we know radius is 2. So now we're going to do 3.14 times 2 times 2 times 6. Well, 2 times 6 is 12, times 2 is 24. So 3.14 times 24 is 75.36, or basically around 75. So we found both answers. So if you do this, you can find the radius is 1.5. You write the formula. You just replace it in. You solve it. 35.3 or around 35. If you do Scott's, you find the radius. You plug into the formula. Use 3.14. I would not use 22/7 just for your sake. Unless you're a person who does fraction with canceling, then it makes it easier. But if you don't cancel, stick with 3.14. This example is the same thing. You just got to make sure you comprehend what you're reading. There's two people, Sarah and Ulysses, or Ulysses. All right, 1, diameter of 3, height of 6. So you might want to write it out. Diameter of 3, height of 6 means the radius is 1.5. Those are two numbers you need. The other one, diameter of 4, height of 7, which means the radius is 2. And that's what you need with 3.14. So you can see 3 divided by 2, the radius is a half, 1.5. You can replace a formula, so you have 3.14 times 1.5 times 1.5 times 6. You get the answer around 42. If you do his, you have to find the radius, which is 2. 3.14 times 2 times 2 times 7. And you get the answer of 88. And you have both answers. Now, example 3, they want you to compare. And the answer basically is which cylinder has the greater volume. So it's going to be cylinder 1 or cylinder 2, and sometimes with boot they call them like X and Y. You just got to find the answer to both. So here we know that's called the radius. So we know 1.5 is the radius. This is the height. If we multiply, we get this answer here. On cylinder 2, oh, that line goes all the way across. That's called the diameter, which means we got to find the radius. We got to find half of it, which is 3. So 3 goes there. Of course, there's the height, 6. That one, so we know cylinder 2 has a greater volume because 169 is bigger than 84. And I can keep doing the math if I need to. I think it's repetition. This whole lesson is the same formula for every question you're going to do is the same formula. So now this homework, it's page 424, and it's only 6 through 13, and it's find volumes of a cylinder. So everything is going to be the same formula, pi times radius squared times height. It's the same formula over and over again. Every question is the same. That completes, I guess, 4 lessons.